Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Godzilla vs. Kong, the most recent film in the MonsterVerse, and let me just say that it was definitely worth the wait. After Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters, this is definitely another worthwhile addition to the series that does ultimately deliver the fight that we've wanted to see for years. You know, the one that we've already seen back in the 60s, but is now done with modern special effects and with tons of great talent, and it mostly keeps the human-centered stuff to, as minimal as possible for it to work as a movie, while also making the humans, not annoying. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story takes place after Godzilla King of the Monsters, where Godzilla seemingly attacks a city unprovoked, and where Monarch realizes that in order to discover a place called Hollow Earth, which is supposedly the home world for all of the monsters in the series, they need to use King Kong to help them find Hollow Earth. All while Godzilla and King Kong get involved in the fight that you've been promised from the title, and when another company called Apex Cybernetics seems to be working on an anti-monster weapon that everyone now knows as Mechagodzilla. But that's all I'll say about the story. The story definitely does jam-pack everything you'd want in a Godzilla and King Kong movie. From Godzilla and King Kong fighting at sea, to fighting on land, to having Mechagodzilla act as a final boss of sorts, sort of like it's a Pipeworks-style Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee game. But it also has some nice callbacks to the previous Godzilla and King Kong films from the past, such as a young girl, Gia, having a nice little connection with King Kong, such as a mysterious homeworld being found, though it rather than being from outer space or being created purely by nuclear radiation, this homeworld seems to be in the center of the Earth. Yeah, so instead of an inner core of the planet, there's a monster world underneath the crust of our world, and on top of that, some of the human characters are some that reprise their roles from Godzilla King of the Monsters. So, yeah, I wasn't exactly a big fan of the family from Godzilla King of the Monsters, but they're not in it too much, and they are really mainly there for callbacks to that film. The other new human characters are mostly either there for comic relief or to contribute one thing to the fight that takes place in the third act. Otherwise, it seems like they're kind of mainly there to either add humor to the film or to pad out the runtime. But thankfully it's not done too much like it was in the 2014 Godzilla film. And unlike King of the Monsters, you can actually see the fights without having to see through rain, having to see through fog, and basically being unable to see the majority of the fight. The majority of the action is out in the open. You can see Godzilla and King Kong deliver every punch, every breath attack, and every time King Kong uses a weapon against Godzilla or Mechagodzilla. It's actually fantastic to watch. Granted, they do somewhat cut the fights short until the third act, but the third act fight is definitely everything you'd want from a Godzilla vs. King Kong movie. And it might be my favorite climax of the entire series. So if they plan to make more monster movies like this, I do think the Hollow Earth concept could be fleshed out a bit more, and I do think it's an interesting one. And I do like the characterization they give King Kong in this film, especially with his relationship with Gia. But for the most part, it's a no-holds-barred PG-13 blockbuster special effects extravaganza that gives you exactly what you want when you get to that point in the film. And when it comes to a film that delivers on its promises, that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. See you next time.